Alright, it's late at night. Finally got my truck in the garage. Wow, that's garage kept again. This truck here hasn't been probably garage kept since this thing was bought way back when in 1996. So it was garage for 2 years before we had it. And being as in the garage, I can work on it at night now and do some little odds and ends. I got a lot of little things, a lot of little touch-ups, a lot of little things on the hood, like what I usually do on this car. So we'll tidy that up. This fender, when I crashed it last year, cylinder fits right, the gap isn't right, so I had to take it off and play with this edge over here. It's really just find another white fender, but I might try screwing with it because it fits a little bit close with the hood right on this line, as you see. Yeah, kind of close. You see that gap? This goes up a little bit more, then it gets tighter. And when you close it, it goes over even more because the way I adjusted the hood. And you kind of see, yeah, there's a little orange peel and a couple little imperfections. You see them over there in this hood. So I could probably wash this one day and wet sand it with 1500 and polish it out. So it'll look a little bit better. And that roof is still screwed up. Maybe we'll play with that too. Open up. Yeah, if I get that painted, I mean, yeah, good camera skills. If I get that roof painted, I'll probably get this grill shell repainted where it gets hit again over here. So you can strip down this and fill that little divot and get that nicey. Maybe even, yeah, this asshole painted it gets overspray over there. So probably clean that up too. So what we're doing tonight, I noticed a slew of oil over my valve cover over here. Well, that's where I spill it. This thing drinks a little bit of oil. It has worn out valve guides. Typical for a 305 with about 150,000 miles on it. With that actually didn't even leave an easy life too. This thing's always beating on. Still runs good. Anyway, over there we got a little fresh air vent for the PCV, and we have a little hose over there. Follow the light. So that thing was leaking right there because it always sucks up oil when you go on wide open throttle. There's a lot of oil in the valve cover, so when you punch it, it sucks up oil. So what I usually put on all these cars is this cool little oil separator thing. You can get these in the parts store. I think they're like $5. You find them at Pep Boys. That's usually the place who stocks them. Purelator makes them. They're right by the where like the oil and oil filters are, the air filters. These things are just sitting there in a clear package. Anyway, they fit that size right there. It's perfect in a regular size PCV grommet for a center bolt valve cover on your Chevy. So you just plug it in right in that hole. And if you can kind of see in there with that light, there's a little mesh in there and it catches the oil. So that's the end that goes into the valve cover, and this is the end that goes into your fresh air right from the air filter, because that's going to be filtered air, and then it gets sucked back into the valve cover, and then the PCV in that end sucks it back up. Anyway, this is basically like a check valve in here, so it's only going to suck one way. Ow, just knocked it. I think my finger's always no good. Need my gloves. My gloves are not on. Anyway, what am I saying? I'm rambling. So this is a check valve, so it's not going to go this way back. Yeah, when you're accelerating, it's not going to suck oil in the valve cover. You know, the rockers are moving real fast and there's a lot of oil. So if this wasn't in place, shit in my throat. This wasn't in place. All that oil in your valve covers, like wide open throttle, 3/4 throttle, half throttle, you know, anywhere around that, it's going to suck it up right into your air cleaner. And all over there, where the stupid K&N garbage is, those get soaked with oil. And on these 220 TBI rides, see there's your cool little TBI over there, electronic carburetor basically, that whole thing gets gunked up and your throttle blades get all oily. Like this thing, I haven't cleaned it since I put this on, and probably shit like 20-30,000 miles, and it's still spotless in there when I put this in place, because this keeps all that oil out. So what I'm doing here, these things are cheap. Actually, the Purelator one is made in, made in USA still, unless going to China like everything else. Everything goes to China. It was leaking around the edges though, because it's just basic plastic welded, you know, especially in this heat in Florida. It cracks. It lasted a lot longer in New York where it's cooler. So your engine bay literally stays about probably 300 degrees for hours when it would cool off in any other state. So what I did, took a little RTV, went around it, so it probably won't leak out of the that little plastic edge anymore, hopefully for a while. New radiator, Visteon, made in Mexico. Cool radiator. It's pretty funny. This radiator in this truck was all blown out, probably right over here, right in the middle, the first and second row. And I just kept driving it like that, and it lasted a long time. It never blew on me. I actually replaced it when I had to go on a road trip. So, make pretty quality stuff. 15 years they got out of the stock radiator, and it didn't crack anything. This was blown out in the middle. Probably because I overheated. Well, it was close to overheating. It was like 10 degrees out when a water pump blew up and I had no coolant. It got a little bit warm, but not overheated. Probably like maybe, I don't know, 240 degrees, 230, somewhere around that. So it was a little bit warm, but did no damage. I wanted to get it home with my old Taylor wires. I should change those soon. Those are like a couple of years old. See, this sucks though. Now they get this truck in this garage because I'm going to be going through this whole thing. When I'm bored, looking it over, finding stuff to do, like the control arm over there, I'll paint that. It's peeling a little bit. So I had all this shit off when I rebuilt the suspension about a year ago. Look at that thing still dripping. It rains in here, and your car stays wet for hours. That's why people think Florida cars don't rust. I think it's bullshit. Because look at this water just stays down there. And the humidity, it never dries. See, there's more about it over there. All collects around your battery tray. Look at this car. I had this thing out before. Went through a couple of rainstorms. Still soaking wet. This car's been sitting here for probably like over 6 hours. Still wet. Crazy. Anyway, I'm just peeking around this truck, see what I can do. Clean it up a little bit. Elbrock intake manifold. Yeah, even that side I'll probably paint the control arm. See, it's peeling right there, the paint. You see it, kind of, where that bolt is. I just did a real spray bomb job because this truck used to see a lot of salt, so I used to just touch it up where it's rusty, so it couldn't get any more rusty. So that's what we're doing. We're playing around with these little air breather things. I think they're actually for like a Ford Festiva or something, I forget. But I'm usually carry them in the parts store, and it's a cool thing, cheap, $5. Put it right in that hole, hook it up to your, that hose right there. And keeps that throttle body really, really clean. I don't like LT1. LT1 you can use it too, same thing. We just gotta rig it up with the hose. 1/2-inch hose you need. Let's see it right back there. It's right in the back. Yep. Oh, that's another cool thing. I finally got new TPS screws right there. You throttle positioning sensor. Those things are rotted out. The junkyard has a lot of TBI trucks, so I was going nuts with hardware. So I got all that. I still need one of these things. This evap, not evap. That's the evap retard. I made fun of myself. Yeah, the EGR valve. That's a freaking EGR valve solenoid. Oh my god, it's late. Yeah, I need one of those little tube things. I gotta fix it. So let me pop this back on. I'm probably gonna go to bed. It's late. Playing around with the old truck at night, like the old times. Awesome. Yep. Clean. Bye bye. That's enough.